5 ways to overcome stress, burnout, and fatigue. Today I'm going to talk about nutrition, how to use nutrition to overcome this problem that one can be experiencing. I'm Alan Warnitz, I'm a nutrition expert, and I help people with recovering their health with nutrition. I thank you for coming to listen to this video, and let me get started on this topic. So let's go about what is stress, what is burnout, what is fatigue first, and what it does and how it affects the person and what you can do about it to actually reverse the issues that it comes with. So basically with stress, you'll have a stress response and a cause of stress, and with stress, you're going to have immune problems and recurring illnesses. So if you find yourself having recurring illnesses, basically stress has taken the toll and it's probably given you burnout, and obviously you're going to have fatigue as well. So you can't keep going. Now, if you're an active person and you're in business or you're in a family and you've got lots of things to do and you can't afford downtime, you can't afford to be tired, there's so much to do, you need to know how to actually help your body. You need to actually give your body the strength to overcome this problem. Now, stress happens when you are faced with, let's say there's a problem that you need to do, that you need to conquer, and you're getting a lot of resistance from it. Or it could be within yourself, like not pushing yourself through and you need to do it, but something is holding you back. Or your body now has burnt out or is in fatigue and you're getting tired and you're getting sick. So now there's so much to do, there's so much to accomplish that you can't do it. In business, you have business people that work very, very hard, long hours, don't sleep enough, and it gets to a point where they burn out. So when they burn out, the body does not respond. It's like in a car, you press the accelerator and the car does not accelerate. It's the same thing with the body. At burnout, you can't accelerate anymore. Nothing you can do. You can just say, I need to do this. Your body just passes out. You're in bed, either that or in hospital, and you're taking 7 days to 10 days or 15 days of recovery. Now, if you can't afford to lose that time, then you need to afford the time to look after your body. And it takes much less time to look after your body than to be subject to like 10 days to 15 days out of action on burnout. And burnout, I've noticed with my clients, is that some of them continuously have burnout and it don't recover and it just gets worse and worse. So if it's getting worse and worse and that's what's happening to you, stay with me. I will give you some information on how to do it, because I have helped people with burnout and turned it around completely where they have no more burnout anymore. Doesn't matter what the stress is. Stress will never go. You'll always have stress. There'll always be demands. There'll always be the wrong people dealing with you. There's always going to be threats in life. There's nothing much you can do about it. It's just how do you give your body the chance to cope so that you don't burn out and pass out. And you have to now wait another 7 days to get back onto action. So basically, it's how does the body respond to stress? It's stress response. So one of the responses of stress is burnout. Too much stress, burnout. Body is go to bed and go sleep in a hospital. So what is the cause of stress? We went over that. It could be demands like stiff targets, unreasonable targets, a boss that's being unreasonable to you, or a family member that's being unreasonable, having higher demands. So you have the cause and your body responds to that. Now if it keeps responding and responding and responding, eventually you get burnout and fatigue. And you'll find your immunity has dropped. So any virus that's floating around, any flu that's floating around knocks you out. So as long as you think you're strong, you're doing well, if your body's burnt out, any illness that comes around, any flu that comes around, comes winter, you are out. And I've had clients also from burnout also get sick, get a flu, and then hospital for a week, no recovery. So let me go over this. So what happens with fatigue is that in fatigue, the body has got no more sugar. As much as you take energy drinks, the body is no longer able to provide the sugar, so you get fatigue. There's an energy factory in the cells. The energy factory is the mitochondria. It doesn't have any more sugar. There's no sugar coming, it's no sugar being carried, and that's when it shuts down. That's your burnout. So what happens in the stress response, there are stress hormones that are released, and it's called catabolic. Catabolic means it's breakdown. It breaks down muscle. So you find your muscles are breaking down. So you have people find their muscles in their legs are breaking down and their belly is getting fatter. That's what it is the muscle is breaking down and it's trying to convert the muscle into sugar, into glucose. And when there's too much of glucose in the body turns that into fat. So sometimes you might not be eating or taking energy drinks and caffeine, And this is what happens. You find you start getting muscle waste because it's catabolic. Why? Because there's a release of cortisol, a release of adrenaline, release of insulin, and all of these are catabolic hormones which actually damage your body and actually activate and accelerate the burnout from the stress response. Now, what are the 5 ways to overcome those problems? Is for your body to start producing what is called relaxing hormones. So the relaxing hormones are HGH, which is human growth hormone, glucagon, this helps with fat burning, melatonin helps with sleep and relaxation, serotonin helps to calm you down and makes you feel happy, GABA helps with sleeping, and you have also, with the relaxed hormone, the body is into muscle building and fat burning. So we are trying to move you from this stress response here down to this response. What are the 5 ways to overcome this so that your body is able to make these relaxing hormones, relaxing your body for recovery. Your body needs to recover. So basically you need a cycle every day of stress, which is normal, the normal day-to-day living, and then you need to be able to relax. The body needs to be able to relax. So these are the 5 ways that I'm going to show you how to help the body to relax and recover. So when you can get the body into recovery mode, then your burnout is going to start going away. You will have no burnout, and the fatigue is going to stop, and you're going to start having higher energy levels. So if you're looking for higher energy levels and having your body able to cope with stress, because as I said, stress will never go away, targets will never stop, your ambitions will never stop. So if there's stress, your body has to respond, and it will respond with the relax hormones. How does the body produce this? So number 1 is electrolytes: calcium, magnesium, potassium, and sodium. So when you take calcium, magnesium, potassium, and sodium, you can get that in supplement form, you can get that in foods. You can, if you want, I can give you a list of the foods that have electrolytes or the supplementation that gives you calcium, magnesium, potassium, and sodium. When you do this, what that does, it actually relaxes the body. The calcium, magnesium, potassium, and sodium feeds the nerves. So when your nerves are fed, you're not highly strung. So when it's fed, your body immediately relaxes. So you're looking for that relaxation mode. So these electrolytes are absolutely necessary to put your body into relax mode so that the relaxed hormones can now start being produced. So when you take electrolytes at night before going to sleep, you can suddenly get relaxed. That's one of the ways to overcome it. Some people immediately overcome it, some people don't, because there are other things that are needed. You need sleep, at least 8 hours of sleep for recovery. So the sleep is what's needed for the relaxed hormones to happen. So if you can't sleep because your body hasn't got melatonin, hasn't got serotonin, and hasn't got GABA. There's a way of helping the body produce those hormones. You can take them in supplementation form, or it comes from proteins as well. So there's what is called a metabolic pathway. So you'll have protein. From protein, you'll have what is called an amino acid called tryptophan. And from tryptophan, it will become serotonin, it will become melatonin. So the moment the body makes melatonin through this process, then suddenly your body relaxes and is able to sleep. And if you don't have melatonin or you don't have serotonin, the body is unable to sleep, is unable to relax. So you need these relaxing hormones. GABA also is another relaxing hormone, also comes from protein through another metabolic pathway, through different pathways. And then in these pathways you need vitamins and minerals. That's the reason for vitamins and minerals, is for the conversion of the protein to the amino acid to become the hormones that you need for relaxation. So that's why it's very important to actually have vitamins and minerals supplementation when you are under high stress, because it gets used up. So when the vitamins and minerals are used up, this process does not happen. So the protein, instead of turning into these things, turns into glucose and fat. And eventually there's no vitamins and minerals to even burn the fat, to even burn the sugar. Number 3 is exercise. You can do various types of exercises. There's a lot of information on exercise, walking. All these things are helpful. Going outside and looking outside and enjoying the environment is another way of relaxing your body, so that it actually helps overcome the stress, burnout, and fatigue. So exercise and walking around, looking at your environment is a helpful way of overcoming that. Another one is the anti-stress supplements. It's supplementation that your body consumes in very large amounts, and you run out of them very, very fast. So you need to supplement them. So the higher your stress, the more supplementation you have. If your stress levels are low, you don't need as much supplementation. But as the stress is high, the body uses it. A lot of these vitamins here and minerals are used up in this process for the stress response. So we got, which is what I said also, stress response. So for the body to respond to stress, you need vitamin C, you need vitamin B5, B5 runs out very fast, and it's a very unspoken vitamin, but that's one key vitamin for anti-stress. B complex, omega-3, proteins. So I said proteins here for this conversion here. And you need vitamin D as well. Why vitamin D? Vitamin D is for immunity, so that it actually stops the recurring illnesses. So if you don't have vitamin D, your illnesses will carry on. So this is your anti-stress supplementation. For example, vitamin C, you'll probably have to take 2,000 to 4,000 milligrams a day. B5, 250 to 500 milligrams a day. B complex is about 25 milligrams. Omega-3 between 2,000 to 4,000 milligrams. Proteins, you need to take high levels of protein, because your protein is necessary to rebuild your muscles, because your muscles are broken down and needs to be rebuilt. You need proteins to build your hormones. So these are the supplements and nutrition that you need to help the stress burnout. So you can do 1, 2, 3, 4. And there's a last one that I advise, which is called LifeWave patches. This is a LifeWave patch, X39. This helps to activate stem cells. So when stem cells are activated, it starts to rebuild your body, and in burnout, you've got adrenal glands which have been damaged. It rebuilds the adrenal glands. And it also helps with rebuilding all body parts that have been damaged, and it helps rebuild the muscles. It helps rebuild new cells. So if you've got damaged cells, new cells get rebuilt. So that's another way of helping the body overcome stress, because once you've provided the nutrients here, these patches here, this patch will start doing its job, releasing activating stem cells for reconstruction of the body, so that the body is now repaired from the damage from the burnout. Now, during burnout, what happens is you have fatigue. So now, as much as I give you all these vitamins so that the body is able to produce energy, what you're looking for is for the body to actually send glucose. So these are the cells. So here's your cells here. So here's your cells. Inside your cells, you've got little factories in there. And these little factories give out energy. Now you need to, so now you've got your blood vessels going past the cells. And in the blood vessels, you've got food. So, and you've got glucose. So the glucose now needs to arrive, or fat needs to arrive inside the factory to make energy. Now, when you're stressed, that process doesn't happen. It stops. Now, how do you activate this? How do you activate this process here to get more energy? First of all, you have to have glucose, or you have to have fat. That has to be present. And that has to be carried into the cell. So it needs vitamins and minerals, which is these anti-stress vitamins, which help with that. So now that you've got the anti-stress vitamins and you've got the glucose and it's arriving at the cells, sometimes this process of energy does not happen. It's stalled. So there's a way of actually activating it as well. There's another patch by LifeWave which is called Energy Enhancer. So as you get older, these energy factories start to get damaged, and there's less and less. It's not as much as you had when you were 20 years old. So when you take an energy enhancer, it actually enhances all of this process there, and it actually helps the body to bring the glucose into the cell with the vitamins that you got, and it starts making energy. So your energy levels start going up. So no matter what the stress you have and the stress response, you do all these things here with the LifeWave patches. This will actually help you overcome this burnout and have no more burnout for the rest of your life, as long as you follow this. I hope that has helped you with finding out how to overcome this stress problem, this burnout problem, and this fatigue, and change it. So even if you're old in your 50s or 60s, this is a way of taking you back to a young age and actually able to live with the stress, but the body has got everything it needs now for responding to stress, so you don't have to end up burnout and fatigue and tired all the time when you've still got business to do. Thank you for listening. I offer a 30-minute free health consultation. There's a link I provide in the health consultation. Click on the link, you book a time, we meet for 30 minutes, and we go over the issues that you have with stress, burnout, or fatigue, or any other issues that you got. And I will put you on a map. I will give you a map and a direction and a pathway that you will learn how to drive through that pathway, and I will be your guide to make sure that you can follow that pathway at your own pace. Thank you for listening, and I hope to hear from you and be your guide and see you doing well and no more burnout and fatigue.